Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, as per your respective time zones. On behalf of entire managed services team, we'd like to welcome you all to this 23A Global Human Resource Advisory webinar session. This important session is to keep you fully synchronized with the new features and functionalities as a part of this quarter release which Oracle provides. My name is Hardik Patel, and I'm an operations manager here at Mastek Managed Services team. Today, I'm your host for this session, and I'm glad to introduce my colleague, PAYLOAD Landry, who's part of our vast HCM team at Mastek. Today, he will take us through all the global human resource updates for 23A quarterly release. Today's session is planned for around 45 to 60 minutes, and we'll make sure that we also spare some time to answer any questions you may have. Before we move to the agenda, let's have a quick look at the important disclaimer. We would like to convey your approach towards Oracle updates in a very simpler method. We'll be taking you through vital analysis for the 23 updates done by our experts, which will help you incorporate new features and updates easily into your system. We will also sync you on any bugs or known issues if there are any. It's good to have an interactive session, so please do ask questions through chat or question panel. We have a senior panelist, Sridhar available with us. He can take up any questions during the session and during the Q&A as well at the end. In case if we run out of time, we will make sure to connect you even at a later stage and answer any questions you may have. This is to give you a glimpse on how we have created the structure of this session. List of new features coming into 23A, detailing on features, so you get a brief understanding of on what new features are all about. And next one is what are the business benefits and important takeaway for you as a decision maker. There are four components where we have done in-depth analysis for the features which we are going to present to you today. The first one is impact level analysis, which demonstrates the impact on the end user. If it's a low impact, then regression testing can be avoided. If it's a high impact, then we need to offer regression testing. Second one, which is we all are aware, there are some features which are by default auto-enabled by Oracle. There are some which we need to opt for. Third one highlights the nature of the feature. There would be certain configuration which may be required, and some can be used without any changes. And last one, which is a quick win. This term we simply use in a way that what is ready to use by investing minimum amount of time and what requires significant amount of time and effort to make use of this feature. Before I hand it over to my colleague, who would quickly like to note down for our info analysis purpose that which industry does your organization belongs to. If you can please help by fitting on the screen. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for your poll answers. So I'll be closing the poll now, and thank you. You can see some attending there. Yep, thank you. We'll be closing the poll now. We've got your feedback there in the poll. And now I'll be asking my colleague to begin today's session. I'll unmute yourself, and the stage is all yours. Thank you.
Yes, Hardik. Thank you. So, hello everyone. So, myself Balu Salandre, and I'm here to take you through the new features as part of 23A release. So, coming to the statistics, this is the statistics of the new features coming in as part of 23A release. We have 37 new features coming as part of global HR, and 26 are purely related to global HR, and 11 among them are common features. So we also have the bifurcation here, further drilling down. 17 are quick wins, which are default and need not be done any configurations or something like that to use them. One is a quick win opt-in, wherein you need minimum efforts, and 8 are rest, wherein you will have to invest some time and configuration to test them and all. Okay, so moving further, let us go through the quick win default with no configuration once first. So first feature is display the titles for document type attachments and reference information section. So this, you need not enable anything to do this, but while configuring a new document type of record, or you will have to edit the existing document types. If you wanna give a title for the attachment that you give in the document of record for the reference, so you do it here in a attachment section. You can give your title name here, and that would be displayed to the users as a reference information. So users will be easily able to relate to the attachments in the reference information when adding, viewing, or editing document records. Going to the second feature, document type subcategory displayed when adding document records. So now a subcategory which was not there earlier will also be displayed when you add a document of record or create it. While creating, you'll have to give the subcategory, and accordingly the subcategory will be displayed to the user. This is how, when you add a document of record, it shows the subcategory in all the pages. So users will be easily able to filter the document type they want from the document type LOV based on the subcategory attribute is a business benefit out of it. And coming to the third feature, display preference of document records, descriptive flex field for document type. Here, to utilize this feature, you need not do anything. To enable, you need not do anything, but to utilize, you'll have to do a little bit configuration for a new document types that you want to do, wherein you'll be able to set up the global segments or context segments. If like preferences can be set for either it can be made read only or hidden, or you can also even default the context segments for document types, and accordingly users will be able to see them. And the next feature comes up as configurable labels for standard attributes of document type. As you see, usually we see document types like this, like name, number, the attributes in the document types. You see them as name, number, issuing comments and all. But with this feature, you'll be able to configure the names as passport name, like any relevant name that you want to change the label to. Like you'll have to edit the document type, searching for it, and then click on the global icon there, which will take you to this page, and you can give the new label name for it, and it will be displayed accordingly like this, whatever the name you give. And coming to the next feature, configurable restrict options for document type. This is a good feature, I can say another good feature, wherein you will be able to restrict the users to create, update, or delete the document types. Although we have this, it is it is made on the basis of role now. Like you can exclude, restrict all the users, and if you, for an example, if you wanna make some document type to be updated or deleted by HR, if you want to give that privilege to HR, then that role can be added here in the restrict settings, and accordingly human resource specialist or they will be able to act upon it, while the other users will not be able to perform such actions. Coming to the next feature, additional parameters to filter document records on mass download of document of records page. Now we have two new parameters where based on which you can filter the document records on mass download and document records page. Those are category of document record and source of document record creation. These are the two new parameters. Okay. Enhanced retain grade context and assignment extensible flex field is the next feature, wherein earlier pay basis and pay plan used to be a free text. Now it has been changed to a value sets, wherein you'll be having a list of values there, and even since it is SQL based query, you have privilege to create your own value sets as well with the LOVs that are required. Okay, and The other feature is on a person level, you can validate salary during hire date change for worker. So when you when you're trying to change hire date, you have these validations like system checks if a salary change proposal is pending for approval, or if there are any changes, more than one salary existing for an assignment, or a salary basis does it still active or not, and does the salary amount violate the salary range. All these kind of validations are made, and this is by default made as error. And if you want to change it to warning, if you don't want this feature to be into error, and then you can change this profile option to warning instead. Okay. The next feature is simplified document record section in responsive employment correction flow. So in the employment correction flow, like document of records are always displayed, and now the new feature, what it does is, if according to the security privileges that the person has, like if they can update the document of record, then edit and delete buttons are there, will be available to the user. If not, only document of record will be section will be visible, and they'll not be able to take action upon it. Edit or delete buttons, they are automated, so you need not go and do a manual what we say page level customizations there instead now. Then V3 termination support for and temporary assignment. We had it only on the level of work relationship. Now, with this new feature, we'll be having V3 termination support for temporary assignment as well. When a temporary assignment is terminated, then automatically the the original assignment will be activated. Okay, and correct termination, reverse termination not supported for the temporary assignments, though you can delete that record. Okay, then the next feature comes up as journeys. Visibility of gatekeeper law journey template. Now this gatekeeper law journey is not visible on your journey explore tab in journeys. This is just to streamline the visibility of the CDAT gatekeeper law journey. Okay, and the next feature comes up as added calculated age field to biographical information region on responsive pages for a person, wherein biographical information, as we can see, age will be calculated and given. It is a read-only field, and users will be able to easily sorry users will be able to easily see the age of the employee instead of calculating it manually. The next feature is increase to the city or town attribute in the address field is increased to the 60 characters. So earlier it was 30 and it has been increased to 60 characters. Now we can store town or city values up to 60 characters, and these are some checkpoints where if you are using any BIP report designed for 30 characters, then these are few checkpoints that Oracle wants you to look into. And if there are any BIP reports or extracts, or if there are any further integrations that you have made on this address field, then that has to be relooked once. Okay, then disability attributes added to the change personal information approval rule. Now you have privilege to configure the approval rules based on the person disability attributes as well. So the other feature is include employee location and approval payload. Like in the approval payload, now it is feasible to check on the employee's location for configuring approval rules. Okay. And the next feature is on workflow structures, employee location attribute for client side location, LOV and position. Wherein now, while creating a new position, you'll be able to select the client side locations, like whatever the locations you have configured on the system, that can be added to the position. And the next category is quick win opt-in. We have only one feature here, wherein audit access to document of records and mass download of document record pages. Now, users can monitor who have accessed the document records page on or data on the document records and mass download of document record pages by using workflow structure management sensitive data access. So for this, you'll have to enable profile option. This is the profile option, sensitive data view audit enable. This, if you make it to wire on a site level, then this feature is enabled. And the sensitive data access audit page is secured using the functional security privilege. This is the privilege that that has to be given to the user if this if anyone wants to have this access. Purview sensitive data access audit is a privilege for that. And this is the table that shows you the data access level and all. Okay. And how do we navigate to the sensitive data access page is from my client group's transaction configuration and audit and sensitive data access edit. That will navigate to you this page. Okay. And coming to the next category of features, which are REST. Now, autocomplete support for terminating an assignment is also coming in the 23A, wherein you'll be able to design your own rules for terminating an assignment. Like if you want to default the last working day of the user in the terminate assignment, then that can be done. These are the newly added attributes that are there, like last working day, review user access, recommended for rehire, recommendation reason, rehire authorization, notification date, and termination date are few attributes that are supported now. And users will be able to create their own custom rules to validate and modify the values or default the values as well. Okay, so this requires a little bit configuration and testing, and impact level would be high. So the next feature is employment synchronization action reason from position to workers assignment. Now, with this feature, whatever the action reason that is mentioned on a position while updating it or correcting a position or requesting a position change, the assignment those reasons, action reasons, will be impacting on the assignment level of an employee. So these are few conditions that are to be satisfied for this synchronization. Like position synchronization has to be enabled, action reason attribute is selected for synchronization, position synchronization setup, and action reason should be specified in the selected position as well. Okay, so here is an example where position synchronization is enabled, and department, job, and action reasons and full-time, part-time are enabled in position synchronization. Now, with this example, as we can see, there are 3 positions, and action and associated action reasons against the actions, update position and synchronize from position. So when a promote transaction has happened, as it is not there in update position, so nothing has been updated on the assignment. And on the organization change, as we can see, assignment action reason is updated, and also the job is updated because it is the action reason is associated with both synchronized from position and update positions. Accordingly, the third one is also updated only for job and not for assignment. Okay, and next feature comes up as record additional data when deleting an assignment record using employment information page. So when we are deleting an assignment record, an additional information also can be captured now. This has to be enabled using HCM Experience Design Studio. And as we can see, if an assignment is deleted, then a page comes up with this additional information, comments, and detailed sections. So if additional information is enabled and there are no EFFs configured, basically you'll have to configure EFF for utilizing this feature for capturing additional information. If these are not configured and only additional information section is enabled, then it would go blank. Okay. And the next feature is person costing section in local and global transfer flow. So in local and global transfer flow, person costing section is enabled, and that can be enabled using HCM Experience Design Studio, and it will bring up the current details of the costing of an employee while performing global transfer, and it can be updated. This feature provides a better user experience while recording an employee's costing, okay, upon global transfer. And next feature is including work schedule information when converting pending worker to employee or contingent worker. Now, you'll be able to see the employee's work schedule while converting the pending worker. while converting the pending worker into an employer contingent worker. Okay. And coming to the next feature, it is on journeys. Configure task groups in journey templates. So task groups can be created now. So this is how you go to checklist category security and create a task group. Task groups can be created and they can be utilized in multiple checklist templates. So you can either create a new task group or you can club multiple tasks and create a task group out of it. Okay. And this is what I was saying. Create task group from the task group. This can be added. The task group can be added into a checklist, and then you can also see the usage of the task group under the usage section. Like in which and all checklist is this task group involved, is been associated with. And when a user sees, the user doesn't see it as a group. It shows only as an individual task for a user while performing a task. And scheduling recurring journeys is another good feature where you can schedule recurring journeys. Under the message section, this enable recurring schedule has to be given as yes, only then it would be enabled. When you assign the checklist, you can assign the frequency of it, like never, which means that it won't be recurred on a day or week or a month, like or a year, depending on the frequency and when it should be triggered. You can also put that date. Okay. And the repetitions on day 5 of every month. This is what I was talking about. Like day 5 of every month, if it has to be triggered, then you can set it accordingly. And only HR specialist has the option to deselect or delete the whole recurred schedule. Next feature comes up as also sorry. So there is an ESS job that runs automatically, and based on the job run, appropriate schedule checklist will be triggered to the users. Okay. The next feature comes up as triggering journeys based on the nudges for employment events. Like we can configure nudges on the following events, like employees contract period and end date is approaching, employees probation period and date is approaching. Based on such kind of events, we can automatically make the checklist trigger with the nudges configuration. So we need to configure a nudge giving these details like the configuration name and what is the checklist that have to be triggered using the channel type as journey. So after the nudge is configured, when a process HCM nudge ESS job runs, it evaluates active nudges and identifies the population for whom the journey needs to be assigned. Okay. This feature basically, it's a good feature where many clients are looking for, as they want to know, like if a contract date is ending, then it has to be informed on prior so that they can perform actions accordingly, right? So next feature is learning community and learning enrollment task types and journeys are now available. So for this prerequisite is, in order to, you should have subscribed for Oracle Learning Cloud, and also the configurations for learning has to be there in your system. So the task type should be selected as learn community, and you can configure the checklist accordingly. Okay, so this is the example for it. And coming to the next feature, on the same type, like you can configure a learning enrollment task types and associate it to the following content types, basically course, learning journey, offering, specialization, and video. As we see it here as an example, learn enrollment, and under specialization, there is a learning item that was already configured, and it will be triggered accordingly to the population. Okay. And coming to the common features, so document of records, generating letters based on document of records. This feature was already there, but now and as an add-on, letters will be generated when using HDL REST and plugin sections also. Okay. If a report path is already configured for the document type, then by default the letter will be generated. Additionally, the letter will be stored as an attachment in the person's document record. Okay. In case of document record plugin section, the letter generation and storage will happen when the parent transaction is approved and committed. Okay. Now, a business benefit for this is users can generate letters even when document of record is created using HDL, HCM, REST APIs. Okay. Now, document records, generating letters based on document records when using HDL, REST and plugin sections, you'll have to configure this from manage HCM, enterprise HCM information. Navigate here and you'll have to add the document record source, and letter generation option has to be selected appropriately. For HDL, if you want to do that, then you make it yes here, and rest no. If it has to be enabled from all sources, then it should be yes for all. Okay. Coming to the next feature, HDL support for terminate assignment transactions. Now we have a provision to terminate assignment transactions through HDL, and these are the DAT files for it. However, the assignment level termination transaction can be uploaded through HDL by only using the terminate assignment flag attribute. So this is one important thing to note here. And we can also correct and reverse an assignment termination. Now, the other feature is source phone number attribute in performance table to store only numeric characters. So earlier, numeric phone number used to be stored in this way, like hyphens or plus symbols used to be there in the data. Now it has been changed only to the numeric. So phone number will be stored in this way, like 910187 without any special characters there. So to update the existing data using delivered person diagnostic job, you'll have to do this. You'll have to run person diagnostic autocorrect job to update the current data. So new phone number field will only store numeric characters here after this upgrade. So the other thing is person gallery and portrait pages have been completely decommissioned and they are no longer supported. So if you have any particular reason it has to be still there on your instance, then you can check with Oracle on this. Okay. Then the other feature is addition of standard annual working duration and unit of measure for organizations. Like now we have standard annual working duration and working duration units that can be configured on enterprise, legal entity, and department level as well. So this new attribute for organization can be used for defaulting standard working and annual duration in the position from the organization level. Okay. And the other feature comes up as addition of standard working hours, standard annual working duration, and unit of measure for location. We have these attributes on location as well. So it can be added when using when creating a location, and that would be appropriately defaulted on the position level. Okay. And the same feature on the job, like addition of standard working hours and standard annual working duration, unit of measures are there on job as well. So usually these attributes are used to calculate the employee's working hours, okay, and FT. So we have these fields, standard working hours and annual working duration on job level as well, which can be defaulted to position. And standard addition of standard working hours and standard annual working duration and unit of measure is there on position as well as a add-on point. So these are there on these actions: request a new position, request a position change, position details, and position details include update, correct, and duplicate positions. So the new attribute can be used to capture additional details of working duration on the position directly. So defaulting of standard working hours, standard annual working duration into a measure for position. How does it default is in this manner, like it checks on a job, and then if it is there, then it would be taking it from job. If the details are not available, then it looks at position level and then department and finally in the enterprise level. Okay. Now position management, filter action reasons based on user's role. So you'll be able to restrict the action reasons also on the position management based on the user's roles. How do we configure this? We'll have to create a action reason and associate it with appropriate action, like requesting a position change, update position, correct and duplicate positions. And at that configuration point, you'll be given you'll be able to add the user roles for which role type this action reason must be displayed. Accordingly, users will get the option like list of values in the action reasons. Okay. And document of records, control access to archived document records. Now you can control access to archived document records data in OTBI by using the new secured view table, HRDOR ARC reporting list view. So this view is implemented in workforce management document of records archive table subject area. Okay. So with this, I'd like to thanks for bearing me all this time. I'd like to hand over to Hardik.
Thank you, Balu, for the wonderful insights today. Thank you once again. So before we move to the Q&A, we'd like to do one very quick poll wherein we'd like to note down your area of interest, whether it's technology, innovation, managed services, value-based analytics, or like 4.0. If you also need the detailed information, you can also reach out to the dedicated support manager or service manager, or you can also leave your note in the chat or question panel, and we'll be taking that up. Meanwhile, can you check if there's any question, please, Reader?
None, Hardik. No questions. Yeah.
Okay, I'll be closing the poll now, and so there is no question. If someone has raised the hand.
Yes, somebody has put a question saying that would you be able to share the slide deck and video?
Yes,
so yes, it would be available.
Yes,
yeah,
so
it would be available on the website, so you would be able to download it.
Yeah, so this is what I'm going to take it up right away. That before, so in a few hours' time, we will be working on the editing part and things like that, and we'll be sending you the test scripts along with the recording of this presentation. There'll be a link and everything will be available with the single click, all the upcoming sessions, and everything will be available. And so we have this upcoming session. Now, if you would like to note down and pass on the message to your colleagues, please. Talent management, HR help desk and ORC, supply chain, workforce management, benefits and compensation. Next week, 18th, finance, supply chain, inventory and order management, and the dedicated session for PPM, project portfolio management as well. So please do register. If you're facing any trouble, please do reach out to us or support manager and take any help. And so that's about it. Again, just to repeat, we will be sending you the PDF presentation of today's presentation, also the recording and the test scripts for you. And just before you all leave us, we'd like to tell us that so that we can improve more and more, if you can rate on the scale of 1 to 5, that how was your overall experience in today's session? There are a few questions, so we'll be taking that up as well. And just the last question, if you can tell us that have you attended any of the previous sessions, please. And with this, we'd like to thank you everyone for your valuable time today. Thank you.